How do you get an 18 car lobby, like?
welcome. I'm Ben on Air, and today I'm going to bring some Clio Cup Sunday Series action. We're heading for round 4 for the Clio Cup Sunday Series tonight, the season finale. And we are racing at Oulton Park Fosters, so let's get right into the content today. So I'll go through the highlights of last week's round, which was quite an entertaining one, so we'll go through that. I won't talk over it, just let you watch it on your own, and straight after we'll go through all the pre-race business, and I'll have a special guest on the show, and I'll announce that after the highlights. So here we go. About to start. Pointy got his lights on. So is morningstar-mike. Here we go. Green lights. And I think Scraffy with oh, we got a bit of. I think he's got a drive through here. Scraffy's got a drive through, but he'll be leading at turn 1. It'll be up to him when he serves that drive through, but a bit of a nudge from Pointy. Doesn't need to fight Scraffy right now because he's provisionally P1. He's got to keep the guys behind at bay. Three amounts of pressure. This is the sort of stuff we had last week with Mike, so he's going to look for redemption, not winning that race last week. He's going to want to try to punch his way in the second spot here, but Angry held his position, held his line. It's all fair racing, and morningstar-mike probably went. It's going to be a slowdown, but it will be the Chapo with his first podium, and those are the unofficial results. So go back. Exorcist still on the main straight, getting the checkered flag. Decent margin in hand, so. Oh, we got a bit of carnage here, a bit of a. Oh no. Drivers going off everywhere. Just gonna have to look eyes forward, gain as much ground as possible. Scraffy taking it easy here. Angry down the inside of morningstar-mike, and we got contact! They've tangled, and Scraffy makes it. We've got to keep it clean here. And Black Wildcats with a little wide approach. Might be lucky. Oh! Unfortunate for Scraffy there for the scoreboard, and we're side by side again. Oh! That will have to be investigated. He's got an overlap, and he's got to make a move. Exo trying to fight for position, and someone's drifted up ahead. Oh, bit of side-by-side contact. No. Oh, no way! Where did Scrappy come from? What's Scrappy going to do here? He's going to use it as a slingshot, but Pointy's got a better run. Scrappy can't come onto the track as aggressive like that. Keep in mind the double cars. So Scrappy trying to make amends after. That's alright, Machapo. I'll give you the points for 8th position, but I know you had pretty good pace and you put a challenge for another podium. It's unfortunate there. So at this stage, Pointy back up in the first. Scraffy following right behind Pointy. This pace has come out and out wide. Scraffy trying to. Oh, we got a bit of side-by-side contact.
20 damage on the front.
So Angry's got 20 damage on the bonnet. You can hear that. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that little clip there of the highlights from last round. So we'll get right into the pre-race stuff, and today I'm joined with the one and only Scraffy, who will be racing tonight. So he'll be in this little 10-minute segment to help me explain what he'll see will unfold in this finale tonight. We'll go through the current round in round 4. So we see ourselves at Oulton Park Fosters, quite a technical track and very hard to master, as a lot of drivers are aware. So it's not going to be an easy one tonight. It's definitely going to be a few mistakes here and there. It's all about minimising these mistakes tonight, especially for the 6 contenders to stay in contention. So the usual 3 10-minute qualifying sessions, and accompanying those will be 3 9-lap sprint races. So let's go to the contenders. So here are our 6 contenders. So Pointy with quite extraordinary stats there. He's got 6 out of 8 wins, so only 2 times he hasn't been on the top step of the podium. Next up we got Morningstar-Mike, been reasonably consistent with 7 top 5s. And we got AngryOldFella, another consistent performances from him throughout the series so far. And he sees himself on 4 top 5s. Now the last 3, not as realistic as the top 3, but they still remain in mathematical contention, so it is worth putting these guys into this talk here. So we got Extra 666 currently sits 4th. Reasonable stats there. Really tells the story of obviously why these 6 guys are in the position they are right now. Next up we got Machapo. He's had 2 top 5s, and those came in last week's round, so he's in some hot form right now. Then we got Birched Up, who's the last of our 6 contenders. He must win the first race to remain in contention, and that's providing Pointy has a disastrous race, so it could end for him at the end of the first race. But still pretty decent stats to get him to this point right now. So if you can hear me, Scruffy, are you there? Are you there, Scruffy? Alright, so which out of these 6 do you think will win the championship tonight?
Based on previous performance, I would expect based on but the morningstar-mike is probably the underdog that's
Righto. So Morningstar-Mike is an underdog, an outsider, you reckon? How about any of the other 4? Do you rate their chances, or do you reckon?
not really based on their average finishes.
Alright, so you reckon it's a 2-horse race heading into this round? Alright, so the other 4 contenders, do you reckon their positions will mix up a lot in this last round? Do you reckon you can mix it with those guys? Because realistically you can still come second, but obviously that's a unrealistic chance, but still mathematical.
It's still possible as long as I don't do false starts.
Yeah,
As I've done in previous races.
a lot of troubles there. Alright, so we'll go next. So here's a look at the form guide for the contenders. So the orange line is Pointy. So we see first race he got 18 points, and the next 3 he won all those 3 races, and it had quite a slump in race 5 where he didn't qualify, started at the back and sort of screwed him up a bit, but then it goes back up to continue his good form. Go through the other contenders. Morningstar-Mike, if you can see his grey line there, it's sort of stagnating earlier on, but in the previous round it sort of went down a bit, as you can see, so he's going to have to upper his form in the round today to stay in contention. And then the rest is as it seems. So battle for first. You mentioned the 2-horse race, Scrappy. What I've got is I've got a 3-horse race in Pointy, Morningstar-Mike and AngryOldFella, because these 3 can remain in contention until last race. So that's based on what I've come up with, but my prediction will be Pointy because he's in extraordinary form. So, but can any of these other 6 contenders knock Pointy off? We'll wait and see.
Nah, come on.
So we do have a heated battle for 4th as well, and you see yourself in there too, Scrappy. So Battle for fourth, we've got Exodus, Machapo, Birch, Black Wildcat, Snape, and yourself, Scruffy. You reckon you can punch your way up the list?
And then we close at 9:15 after the
Alright, that's good.
act. And by 12
So,
o'clock we
that's
finish
it
2
for
sets of like
the battle
20
pack.
songs.
Now, I've got
And
an
that was it
announcement
for
as well. We will be hosting
That's
another
a huge
Sunday night
night, man.
series. It will be in the GTE
Huge.
class. So, as you can see
And,
on
you know,
screen
trying to
now,
sing Bon
we've
Scott,
got
Man All Night, that's
a
good
list
fun.
of
Yeah,
8 tracks.
That's gonna take
So,
you years,
three feature race, 5 feature races and 3 enduro. So we got Sugo, Imola, Oulton Park International,
yeah.
Red Bull Ring GP, Long Beach, Spa, Le Mans, and Bathurst, and that is the calendar. So the drivers that we currently have confirmed is Pointy in the number 38 Chevrolet Corvette,
We're going to be on a huge
Morningstar-mike
stage.
in the Ford GT,
Yeah, man.
When's that happening?
Extra 666 also on the Ford
That
GT
is
number
happening
2,
on the 20th of February. next year.
Scruffy in the Porsche hashtag 91, and
Yeah, mate.
that is
yeah,
what
I'm
we've
from
got
Perth.
so far. So we'll have a look at the leaderboards pretty
yeah?
quickly.
Where's
So
that you, mate?
as you can see, the 6 contenders, their points are
good old
highlighted in green. That signifies that they still have a shot at the championship, and they'll do everything in their power
Yeah, it's
to
like a little
remain
country
in
town.
that state of frame. And the guys in red
Yeah,
obviously
mate,
can't
you
win the
know,
championship,
you
but
get
they
your
can
undesirables, but
mix
they
it up.
get-
They
you get them
can
everywhere.
influence the final outcome of the championship. So there will be a lot of movers and shakers in this round, I would expect. You see the guys just out of contention, they're very close, with Black Wildcat, Snake, and Scrappy separated by 2 points, so it's very close back there. But for the championship battle, we got obviously Pointy on 152 points in first, 13 points back is Morningstar-Mike on 139. And we got AngryOldFella on 125, Exodus 666 on 121, Machapo on 115, and Birched on 106 So we'll see how those positions move
runs off Stalker Road.
as we go through the round.
Great name.
So
Great name.
we're at the live scenes now. We got 8 minutes until kickoff, and we'll see what we can get done.
Or it's more.
In the meantime, I'm gonna chuck a couple more invites
Yeah,
out,
it's up the river road.
see
Yeah,
if we
that's
got
just up the,
everyone.
Just up the road from here.
So we've got
Yeah,
our
it's
usual
all
comers here.
nice.
Pointers in, yeah.
I need a Barocca, mate.
It was good having you on, Scruffy. You can get to the live scenes as you prepare for your race.
It gives me wings.
So we got a newcomer
Red
tonight
Bull,
in Josh.
fuck me, it's Red Bull
Obviously,
back, see, I'm not
he
with
was a
it.
confirmed driver, but
need some wings on it.
finally sees himself racing
Fucking
tonight.
hell.
I think it's only for one race, but it's good to have the numbers. So good luck to him. And I've sent the other 5 invites out for the
So that little
guys that
kink
showed
mic,
interest.
that's a bit of a bugger.
We also have a poll tonight.
Just that
So
one.
on
Yeah,
YouTube
that
there'll
little kink
be
on the straight.
a link on the top right corner. So basically, who will win the Clio Cup
And
series?
so,
So
first corner,
in Twitch, you'll
First
type,
corner.
if you want to vote for Pointy, you
And
type 1 in
third.
chat,
second,
and the
third.
same corresponding to the number
Fourth.
next to the other drivers. So 2 for Mike, 3 for AngryOldFella, 4 for Exodus, 5 for
It should
Machapo,
be
and 6 for
interesting.
Birch. Alright,
Just
so
over
we'll
the
go back
list.
to live scenes, and we'll get ready to see some
I had
action.
a practice before I came back on here, and
So
I
we've
hit one
got
of them
Josh
high
in.
curbs, mate, and I was doing a fucking
So I'm gonna have to mute the guys
Dukes
here.
of Hazzard. 2 wheels, and I just.
Was that second to last corner?
So currently we have a grid of 8. So the last round should be quite exciting. So for those newcomers, we'll have a look at how points are scored. So the point structure is on screen as you see right now. So for first place finish, we get 20 points and a point separating each and every position down the order. So that's why we have an extremely close battle for the championship so far. And obviously with this point structure, that's what I was aiming to have to, ensure it stays close up until the last round to see if we can have as many drivers in contention as possible. Sort of shakes it up a bit as well. You don't necessarily have to be quick to win a championship. So as long as you're consistent, you're still in with a chance. And obviously all the drivers sit at that point today, the 6 contenders, because they're consistent. So that's how we score points. So we got 5 minutes until we are underway. Just gonna get some stuff set up while we wait. Just get my leaderboard stuff in my tab so I can edit it as soon as the races are finished. This week it should be no dramas because last week it seemed to have technical difficulties, so I'll get those results in straight away. So it's loaded up this time. Awesome. So we got 3 more races, which are the 6 contenders will win. So I'll get that up on screen and just keep it there. So if you want to vote, you can have a look at the stats and put a vote in on who your favourite driver is or who you think will win. So just to reiterate what I said earlier, Pointy with an extraordinary 6 wins is one of our 3 winners in this series so far. Can we extend that tonight? Who knows? But there is a lot of drivers capable of winning, so hopefully we can get some more winners on the winners list. Morningstar-mike, unfortunately with no wins yet, he would like to get the monkey off his back tonight, and he needs to if he wants to remain in contention. As well as AngryOldFella, he needs to get a race win in the first race to keep it within a healthy range. Exodus, pretty much all of these contenders definitely need a win, so yeah, the whole 6 need to win if they're to remain a realistic chance. Birch is in a different situation to the other 5 though. He must win, and then he must hope that Pointy, I think, comes 6 positions back from him. So that's how it's got to go for him. So I reckon he'll be racing for pride tonight. He'll try to finish as high up in the championship as possible, as well as the other drivers in the grid. So we'll go back to live scenes. We're 2 minutes until we start. And we've got a healthy grid of 9 drivers. I think, as mentioned before, Josh is here for 1 race, so good luck to him in that race. Oh, I'll leave. Alright, so we've got 2 minutes. So once we start up, we're going into 10-minute qualifying session, followed by a 9-lap sprint race. So this first race is obviously pivotal for a lot of the drivers. So I think this is what we'll get for the grid tonight. I'll send out those last minute invites, but I'll be starting up the stream. Nath is on, I don't know if he's going to join, but we'll wait and see. We are starting up right now.
Hey,
So it's going to be quite an exciting race tonight.
So
How
many
the
new
fuck does
turrets.
someone get a 53
Oof.
second lap in one of these
Not,
cars?
not,
Yeah.
not
Now
really,
I've
no,
got
it's not
all
one of
the
those. No way, mate.
As I say, not a chance in hell.
You can't even cut the corners and get that time that short.
so I think I'm gonna have to watch on PC.
Yeah, even the slowdowns are pretty fucking full on this.
Fucking horrendous. That's before I reckon I'm only getting 1 out of 6 laps as a lap.
Yeah.
It's going to be extremely
I'm
hard for the
fucking 60
drivers
k's around
to
the corner and I'm getting a fucking
get
slot.
their tyres up the temp as well.
What is that?
It's
Dude, though,
definitely been
the rules are fucking brutal in testing compared to the racing.
quite a hard
Yeah.
thing for the drivers.
And
Yeah.
the racing, fuck yeah. Oh, you're all pulling out of your garages and I'll have to sit here and look at you.
So unfortunately I
We look
can't
good, mate. Don't worry.
mute anyone.
You are looking good there.
Come
Good
on,
looking
you
old bloke,
Little
mate.
green Clio.
Right, so we've got a couple drivers
good pull out.
out on the track right now. So as you can see, we're on board with Birch. It's quite a technical first sector leading into the second sector. So it's going to be quite hard for those guys. Seem to be getting fluctuating stuff at the moment, but should be fine, should hold up. So Birch will be the first one to cross the line, and he should be the first one to get in a hot lap. It's a bit laggy on my end, I think. Hopefully it holds up tonight. We've had promising streams the last 2 times in a row, so hopefully that remains. So, as we see, I think that's AngryOldFella, so we go on board with him.
Well, that's what I said. He said, Sean,
Very smooth through the first corner.
what about that?
Good catch.
Alright, let's see how he can tackle this disastrous first sector. So we go on chase view. He seems to have got it to a stop pretty well.
No beds. Yeah. No fucking beds, mate.
Now all he has to do is keep it smooth at this stage and you will get a good time. So we'll see what happens here. So he's going for the last corner right now. Got it through pretty smoothly, and we'll see what this time will be. So 109.6. So what we'll be looking at is a 104 for pole. We had a little practice session today with a few of the guys, and Pointy set the quickest time of, I think, a mid-4. So we're definitely going to see a lot quicker laps, but those lap times will come with, you know, more circulating laps. So it's all about getting the tyres fully up the temp. So Josh is punching in a time of a 108, the newcomer today. Black Wildcats for a bit of an off, so we'll go on board with Josh, who's right behind Exorcist. He gets out of the way. I don't know if that was intentionally, but it works well for Josh. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to change the audio setting for the desktop, just so we don't have as much background noise. Alright, so Josh with a 106.5 in terms of competitive standpoint. It's well and truly. Oh, no, that's Birch with a 106.5. Sorry, correct me there. He's come back out in the pits, so we'll go on board with Angry. One of our 6 contenders tonight, as well as Birch. He's provisionally pole, and we know his standpoint in the championship standings, and he must win the first race. And Scraffy punches in a 107.6, so he's starting to show some good pace late in this series. It's a bit unfortunate he couldn't do it a couple weeks ago. So let's see what Angry gets. So morningstar-mike pipping Scraffy by half second. Invalidated lap time for Angry. We'll go on board with morningstar-mike. Looks like he's slowing down. Alright, we're on board with Scraffy now, and seems as though Pointy may be leaving his run a bit late. But I think he's learned from not qualifying the last time, so he'll be looking to put in a time pretty soon. So Scraffy right behind Machapo here. Machapo's been in pretty good form as well, and he's one of our 6 championship contenders. Scraffy with a 107.1, getting past Mike by 6/100, so it's very close between those two. Birch in a league of his own with a 106.5. He'll be looking to improve, so we'll go back on board with him. Not sure if this is an out lap or a hot lap. I'll take it with the slide there. It might be an out lap, so I'll go on board with Josh. Can he improve that 108.2? He'll be looking to put himself on the front 2 rows to give him a good chance of winning his first race. Maybe Pointy knows that it's probably not good to start at the front on this track, because he might be able to make the most of some off opportunities in the first sector. So Josh with a 107 flat puts himself up in the P2. So the guys behind Birch from 2nd to 4th, they're only separated by almost 1/10, so it's very close. So we'll go back on board with Birch. We know he's on a hot lap, so he's past first sector. Obviously got through the first sector quite calmly. Now, he'll need to get in the 105s if he's to put up a competitive time to keep his pole position. We know track evolution plays a key role in getting faster lap times later on in the session, so he's left his run to the right time. Not sure on the standpoint for Pointy. He's on a lap right now, so we'll stay on board with Birch, see what this gets him. So, no improvement. Alright. We'll go on board with Exorcist, who's exiting the last corner now. Should be a hot lap this time around. And he will get 2 more laps in, as well as Machapo ahead, I think it is. He'll get another 2 laps in, and he currently sits P5 with 107.4. So let's see how Exo holds the car up through this section. So he's not going as aggressive as a lot of the drivers are. I think in qualifying, you probably want to put everything at it. In the race, maybe go a bit more, lenient on the power through there. But we know sometimes laps that look slow are actually quite fast. So hopefully for Exo, that's the case. Pointy with a 105.7. He's in the pit lane now, so looks like we won't see another time recorded by him. He thinks he's pretty happy with that time, so we'll see how that holds up heading into crunch time. So what's this for Exo? He improves, but no grid improvement. So we'll go on board with Angry. Give him a bit more screen time. So hopefully that doesn't invalidate his time, because then we'll see his qualifying session done, and he doesn't want to start all the way back in 6th, considering his championship contender in Pointy is starting at the front. So as well as Morningstar-Mike and Birch, but those 3 guys are the people we are fighting in this championship. So that previous lap didn't get invalidated. Oh, he's on the grass and couldn't hold it up there, so his quality session's done. Morningstar Mike with a late charge here. So Morningstar Mike is also done. The guys that we're looking at to improve are Black Wildcats, Birch, and Scraffy, and also Exo. I don't know if that's fluctuating or... Oh, it's went offline. So we've got technical issues at the moment if this is live.
I think so, after what we just heard, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, sorry, mate.
So it should be live soon.
That's a wall of things.
If not, I'll run it through PlayStation. So we got Pointy first, Black Wildcat second.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just going to mute all the guys here. Can't hear myself, but that's fine. Alright, so we're going to continue with this session. Hopefully the live stream is back up. I think we're getting some sort of difficulties on my end, but we'll see how far we can go with this. So we'll go through the grid as it stands. So Pointy in first, looking to cement his championship hopes earlier on, I would say. So he's looking to ensure his win streak also remains alive as well. That currently sits on 3 race wins in a row. Black Wildcats out of contention, but he's also one of our multiple race winners alongside Pointy. So we know he has the pace to win this thing. And we got Birch in third, must win this race. He's currently sixth in the championship, but he's only a mathematical chance, so he must punch his way forward in front of Pointy. So here we go. We're almost green. And we're underway. So we'll go trackside view, sorry for that. So Pointy leading, heading into turn 1. Then it's Black Wildcats. Then it's Birch. Then it's Scrappy, Josh, Morningstar Mike, Angry, Machapo, then Exorcist. So we'll go on board with Exo. We'll go chase view. He's got a pretty good view of the whole field at this stage. And we've got a bit of an incident back there with Mike. So, no, that's not Mike. My apologies. That is Angry. It's unfortunate for him earlier on. Now, this is quite an angry pack here. Josh and Exo side by side. A little bit side by side contact. And we've had a little push. Oh, no. Machapo is down and out. His rear wing is gone. So Black Wildcats move back position. And Scrappy just holding back. Machapo with a lot of damage here. Sorry about that. Angry trying to recover his lost ground, as well as Black Wildcats. Josh, Exo, Morningstar Mike, Birch, who has been overtaken by Mike, and then Pointy with quite a healthy lead earlier on, and he spun! Pointy has spun. Our championship leader spun at the first sector, and this invites Morningstar-Mike into the game. So Birch right in front of Pointy at this stage. Not going to hold on. But Mike looking quite good for him at this stage. So we'll stay on board with Birch here. We'll see what his pace is in comparison to Pointy and Mike. We'll see if this battle can heat up. Pointy gaining a lot of ground because we know he lost a lot of ground the previous lap. So we're heading into lap 3. So we got Morningstar-Mike first, Pointy second, Birch third, Exo 4th, Scraffy 5th, Josh 6th, Angry 7th, the Chapo 8th, and Black Wildcats in 9th. So we'll get back to the front pack battle. Birch going a bit wide on entry, but keeping it pretty clean through the rest of the first sector. And now Pointy's got a run on Mike here, so what does Mike have in response to this pace from Pointy? Can he hold on? We know if an overtake is to get done, it will be at the last corner for Pointy. Unless he can make a most of a mistake here, and he's trying to do a cutback. He's got a little run on him. Now, I think there might be a slight overlap. No. Mike trying to put his car as wide as possible, and Pointy going down the inside, not making that overtake. So, 2 wheels there, but he's trying to keep it clean. He knows he must stay 1 position behind Mike to win the championship tonight. So, we're going to see him try to keep it clean, not try to make a whole of a lot of overtakes if he doesn't need to, but an easy one there for Pointy. He might be a bit unsettled through this section. No. Oh, we've got a bit of rubbing with Mike and Pointy, but Birch is pretty further back as well. And we got Exo. Then we got Scraffy following Exo. And we got Josh, who's closer. And then Angry right on Josh's tail. Machapo just trying to circulate laps to get these points, and Black Wildcats in the pits, obviously, to get repairs. So we'll go back on board with Mike, who is right behind Pointy. Now, Scraffy mentioned earlier, this is looking like a 2-horse race, and right now it currently is, with the top 2 in the championship, currently 1 and 2. So this is what it's all about tonight. Obviously, Scraffy saw what was coming. So, we're going through the disastrous first sector again. Scraffy with a bit of an off. He's moved back in the P7. Must have made a big mistake for that to happen, but we still got this leader Pointy just within a second. Exo up in the P3. So Birch has made a mistake. It's not looking good for Birch because currently he's out of contention as it stands. So he's got to see if he can try gain 12 seconds on Pointy. But then Pointy must come 6 positions back. So we've got to wait and see. So we've got Josh Angry following right behind Josh. Scraffy further back. Machapo still keeping the car straight. He'll be kicking himself after that first lap. You know, he's got pace. Black Wildcats, another one who's also got pace. A bit of an unsettled car through the first sector. Exo's on for his first podium, I think. So we'll wait and see what the outcome is there. Morningstar-Mike is trying to play it safe at this stage, but he needs to keep that points deficit in a positive frame. It looks like he's got to slow down, so Birch, it's all end badly for him, so he's going to get a slowdown for that. And he's got Josh following right behind, so as it stands, Birch is out of contention, but we'll have a look at the timings. There's a lot of penalties handed out this stage. So Morningstar Mike with 2-second penalty, Josh with 1 second, Angry with 1 second, Scraffy with 4 seconds. So looks like he's going to be relegated if Machapo can catch up, and that's as it stands with the penalties. So we'll go further up the grid. So we've still got EXO on third, Morningstar Mike in second. In the last lap, Pointy recorded a 1:05.2. Good pace from him. So we'll go on board with Angry, who's looking to remain in contention as well. Josh with a bit of an off. You can't. Ooh. Almost went right back on Angry, but Angry made the most of the opportunity as well as Birch. I think he got through there cleanly. What has happened here? Is he readdressing something? It's going to invite Scraffy into the action as well. So I think Black Wildcats has been lapped. So we got Pointy first, Morningstar Mike, I think just taking it easy now, just trying to keep the points within a realistic attack range. EXO staying in contention as well. Angry also remains in contention as it stands. Josh, the newcomer tonight, currently running 5th. With the calibre of drivers we got in this field, that's a very good effort from him. Birch has moved back 2 more positions in 6th, so looking highly unlikely for him tonight, but he's got some good pace to deliver good results. And Scraffy following right behind, but he's got that 4-second time penalty to deal with, so overtaking won't do him much favours. Unless he can extend the gap, and we've gotten off here. I think that's Morningstar Mike. So, EXO's slowly catching up. But I don't reckon he's got enough laps to get that lost time. So, he's going to have to stay where he is. Go on board with Angry, who's close behind, I think, EXO. He is. So last lap, Pointy, another 1:05.2. Good pace. So we'll go through the grid. So we got Birch back in 6th, 7th Scraffy, 8th with a quite an uncharacteristic run this race in Machapo, and Black Wildcats in 9th. So it's not looking good for half of these drivers earlier on. So we've knocked one of the 6 drivers out of contention. The other 5 remains to be unseen at this stage. The points are pretty close in that range. So Morningstar Mike and EXO. Race complete. So Pointy is our first race winner in round 4, the finale. Then we got. We'll see how penalties play a role here. So currently Morningstar Mike 2nd. Exodus in 3rd. That's as it stands. Josh looking to remain in 4th. So he's got Angry following close, and he remains 4th. Birch in 6th. Scraffy in 7th. Oh, he's gone for the crash. The usual shenanigans ending these races. Well, hopefully that did no harm. Alright, so we got Machapo coming around the final corner, and he will finish the race. So, and Nath has joined. So hopefully we see him in the next race. So Pointy first. 2nd is Morningstar Mike. Exodus in 3rd. Josh in 4th. Good debut performance from him. 5th, AngryOldFella. 6th, Birched Up. 7th, Scraffy. 8th Machapo, and 9th Black Wildcat. So we'll return the lobby, have a 5-minute break while I get these leaderboards organised. So it gives time for the drivers to sort of get in the right mind frame heading into race 2. So I'll be right back with the leaderboard edits. Alright, so we are back with the leaderboards, and I'll sort of fix it up if you can see it. So Pointy on 172 points, morningstar-mike on 158, only lost a point that race. AngryOldFella on 141, Exodus on 139, and Machapo on 127, but Machapo... We'll see if Machapo's still in contention, but we're looking at an investigation here, so I'm going to start up the lobby. And I'll get back to you on whether Machapo's still in contention.
Oh, here we go.
So officially Machapo
Can
is
someone
out of
send him a message
contention.
and say, Pointy?
Pointy.
Jesus Christ.
The
heard
water
cups-
technology.
I heard cups of coffee getting made and fucking cheese on the griddle and fucking...
Yeah, Mum, can you do the dishes? Hey, what's that on you? Pointy, pull your pants up. Come on.
Lusty balls are itchy.
Alright, so we're back out on grid. Drivers reacting quickly.
Boys, you'll only have to do one lap and qualify.
So we've got Nath back into the scenes as well.
They're a good bunch of blokes.
So, as usual, we got Birch out
He's
first.
in another lobby or something.
Yeah, he's in another lobby.
Shit.
And what's going on here?
So
Car's
we
stuck
got-
in the pit.
Looks like we got car stuck in the pits. That's not good.
Do one lap.
Yeah, only one lap.
So we're gonna have the background noise for this session, but we'll have that fixed at the end of the qualifying session.
It's easier to go backwards than it is forwards. Oh, shit.
Right, so who is leading this pack here?
I won't lie, boys. I was fucking nervous sitting in third spot and fucking telling you.
Right, so we got Scruffy leading this pack here.
Uncomfortable place for me to be.
He'll be the first one to put in a time.
Going to catch you though.
And we've got one place grid penalties with AngryOldFella and Machapo, so
right on the tail.
so Scruffy's in the pits. We'll go on
And I
board
had
with
my fucking tongue
AngryOldFella.
out and fucking
We'll have a look at the
fucking
timings,
crossed
and
Well, I'm feeling that confident.
so he's got a two-place grid penalty, AngryOldFella. So at this stage, race 2 is looking
Oh, what?
quite awful for him. So
Oh,
he needs to put in a good lap time.
that got my eyes big.
Bit of a lock up. He needs to make the most of what's to come because he is one of the 4 drivers still in contention.
Right, Bonnie only need one lap.
Yeah.
So I wonder if Pointy's coming out of this race, this qualifying session. Currently he's got a 14-point lead over morningstar-mike. And as we mentioned before, me and Scruffy, it was looking like a 2-horse race for the top 2. And it did produce last round. So we'll see what this first number is for Angry. Bit of a slide around the last corner. Sorry, I'm not a bit enthused with my voice. It's sort of hurting at this stage. But so Birch goes fast with 1087. Angry with a 1096. morningstar-mike with a 1111. So Pointy is out on track. We'll go on board with Nath, who's starting his first hot lap. Taking it easy through the first sector, but Birch still on top. Black Wildcats puts in a time of 1:11.5. So based on the last race, we're going to be looking at around the 1:05 mark, but I do expect to see a 1:04 tonight. It's definitely, I think, world record pace, somewhat. So we'll have a look. So Machapo with a 108 flat.
Pinball.
He's trying to get out of your way as well.
And Pointy with a 105 flat. So he's got 3 seconds on the field and he's parked it. So he thinks that's good enough for pole. And he's going to sit back and enjoy what the others have to offer. So we still haven't seen laps from Nath, Josh and Scruffy. Scruffy's in pit lane. I don't know why. Nath on his hot lap now. And we'll see what he's got in store. And in the meantime, morningstar-mike on P2 with a 106.6. And we got Black Wildcats with a 107 flat and the Chapo with 108 flat. So we're going to see a lot of improvement ending this second qualifying session. So we'll start on board with Nath, who's almost into the third sector.
Oh, yeah. Now,
Oh, someone's going backwards. I don't know who that is.
right, another 100 laps. I'll be
That
able
was
to get pole,
Birch.
so
Going back on board with Nath. Looks to be a very smooth lap, so hopefully a good time for him. That's what he'll be aiming to have. So 106.5 from Nath, so he's going to be looking to improve that time. So what's Scruffy got? That's obviously an outlap, so since Josh is ahead of Scruffy. We'll go on board with Josh. See, oh, a lot of curb usage. Probably carrying slightly too much speed through that section. He's in behind the Chapo, who's given him the right of way. And the Chapo currently sits P5, so he's looking to go for another fast run. So we're going to keep a good eye on him in the closing stages of qualifying. And as for Pointy, he's parked the car and obviously watching what is being produced before him. Got to keep in mind, Nath, he's pretty quick, and morningstar-mike also very quick. So if those guys can put a good lap together, now Josh goes up in the P5, and Nath has improved the last lap, but still greater than 1 second away from Pointy. Scruffy about to cross the control line. Puts himself up in the P5 over Birch and Josh. So Josh, in 10 seconds, has lost 2 positions. So is Josh going to get an improvement this time around? Quite a good debut from him so far. But can he get a podium this race? Maybe even a race win. You know, he's got pretty good race pace, so we'll be looking forward to seeing his charge through the field if he starts back in 8. And not looking good for Angry and Machapo, who currently see themselves in P9 and P10. Don't want to start at the back of the grid.
Oh, you motherfucker.
Same thing?
Now, Josh has gone up 1 position into P7 with a 1.7 flat.
Instead of fucking 106.6.
Oh, fuck.
Now, Nath gone even faster in the meantime with a 105.6, so he's going to be challenging Pointy for that pole position, I reckon. Now, we'll see what this is for Scruffy. No improvement. Going ball with Exo, entering the last corner. Looking for an improvement on the 1.7 flat. Quite a good performance from him last race. So he's going to try keep himself in contention. No improvement there. So Nath, think parking it at this stage, unless he thinks there's another lap left in it. So we're on board with Black Wildcats here. Quite a disastrous race 1 for round 4 for Black Wildcats. Looking to regain momentum. So we'll stay on board for this lap. He's got some pretty good pace behind him.
Hey!
Have a look at the timings.
Hey,
Or have a look at the splits rather.
Now, man. Look out.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be coming up for me, but we'll stay on board.
I just had some mates pop in fucking Central Coast.
Yeah, we heard, man.
Very clean through the last corner.
What the fuck is going on?
They wouldn't have guessed you had visitors.
No, not at all.
How's the cup of coffee?
So, no improvement from Black Wildcats there. Josh, in the meantime, up in the P4 with 106.6. Closely followed by morningstar-mike, who must start at least P2. Birch with a bit of an off. Not been a good round from him so far, but he's got very good pace. So, hopefully that changes as we enter the race. Scruffy not looking as fast this time around. Remember last race he was starting, I think, 3rd row, so he's going to be looking to start higher up than what he is, as well as Angry and Machapo, who both have grid penalties. So as it stands, Machapo will be moved up in the P9 with this current lap. I think he's give it a quit, so Angry will be his last lap, and I reckon exceeding track limits there, he might get a slowdown.
That's it, all over.
So Pointy at the moment with pole. We've got 3 drivers capable of improving, and Angry is cut out of that mix. Birch back in the pit lane. Black Wildcats looking to come to a stop as well. So what the grid looks like now is, as it stands, The only exception with Angry being relegated back to P10 due to that
Can I just put an AI in my car
grid
and I can just have
position.
a sleep?
Well, you could. You'll,
Yeah, no
you'll
drama.
only
So there we go.
end up at the back of the field.
So I'll quickly mute the guys.
This one.
You never know.
Hopefully,
Oh, mate.
is this going to let me advance?
Oh.
Alright, so we got Pointy in first, Nathan second, Black Wildcats third, Josh fourth, Morningstar-Mike in fifth, Birched Up in sixth, Exodus in seventh, Scrappy in eighth, AngryOldFella in ninth, which is meant to be P10, Chapo in ninth, so those two switch around, I think. Yep. So we're on the starting grid. We've got a healthy grid of 10 cars. Let's see how turn 1 unfolds. Hopefully it's a lot more cleaner this time around. Last race, first lap was quite disastrous for many. So they'll be looking to change their fortunes this time around. Alright, so we're on board with Pointy. Trackside view. Almost green. And we're underway in race 2 of round 4. Seems as though Nath got bogged down there, and that's going to invite Black Wildcats to get a run on him on the outside. So we'll go on board with Angry, who will be seeing all the stuff unfold. Go chase view. Looks cleaner this time around. Hopefully drivers can keep it steady through this section. Not going to make the same mistake, and we have got a bit of carnage at the back with Exorcist and Scrappy. I don't know what happened there. So Mike and Birch got caught up in that. I don't know what happened to Scrappy and Exo, but they seem to have quite a disastrous start. So Nath back in the P3, and Pointy's already got a 2-second lead here. He's looking to cement his championship title. So we're on board with Nath, who's following Black Wildcats pretty closely at this stage. Josh all the way back in P4, a bit further back. Machapo P5. Angry P6, he's moved up 5 positions. That's a good start from him. Birch giving him the pressure in P7. Mike joining the battle in P8. Scrappy a bit further back in P9. And Exodus in P10. So that's the grid after lap 1. Going back on board with Nath, who's looking to make the overtake on Black Wildcats. You can see further up is Pointy, who is blazing at this stage. Showing no mercy to the other drivers still in contention. So is Nath going to get the overtake done on the last corner here? Or is he going to make a cutback move? Might be able to get a better run. Black Wildcats going with the early block. Can't move further. Alright, so Nath's going to try to do the cutback once again. Didn't get it done. Didn't get the traction and exit he wanted. In the meantime, this should be favouring Josh, Chapo, and all the guys behind this battle. So we could see as many as 6 cars battle for P2. So we'll see how this unfolds as the race goes on. So Black Wildcats with a bit of a mistake in the first sector. Got a bit too much curb as well. And Nath is going to get it chucked down the inside here. He's going to have the inside running up the hill, the outside. So he might lose a bit of ground here. But he's still got an overlap. So he's going to get the move done. Black Wildcats may have to give in here. And he has. So we'll go on board with Black Wildcats. Josh is slowly catching up to the pack. So we're going to see quite a healthy battle for the podiums here. Pointy with a 7 and 7/10 lead here. So he's blazing away in P1. His last lap was a 1:05.1. Continues to have good pace in this series. So we'll go back through the grid. So Machapo entering turn 1. Morningstar-mike is further back. Birch also a bit further back as well. Exo and Angry chucking it down the inside of Exo. Scraffy's joining this battle as well. Probably missed a gear there, Scraffy did, but he's going to look to catch up to these guys ahead of him. And looks like Angry has some sort of a penalty. So the guys in front of Scraffy have a 1 second penalty each. So at this stage, Scraffy doesn't have to overtake these two, but if he wants to gain some ground further up, he's going to have to overtake them in that case. So go back on board with Chapo. Still a bit further back. Josh catching the back of the pack of the podiums here. So he's looking to make some ground. In the meantime, Black Wildcat's trying to keep that gap in hand. Looks like he's got to slow down because he's in a bit of low revs. So that's going to invite Josh for a podium here. Oh, didn't keep it held up in the first sector. So Machapo going to make the most of this opportunity. Punch himself up in the P4. It's good that Josh is using the escape road there. Got a bit of a sore throat. Sorry for that. Chapo, a bit too much exit curb. So Mike looking to gain some ground on these two, and he's looking to keep himself in contention. Currently, he just sits in contention, so looks like a good result for Pointy at this stage. He'll be hoping that Birch catches right up to Morningstar-mike to eliminate every championship threat. So this is going to be close heading into the closing stages of race 2 of round 4. So Angry going to move back up in the P9. Looks like his championship hopes are going to end in race 2. As well as Exo, unless he... even if he gets first, it's looking highly unlikely he will remain in that standpoint. Birch, as mentioned last race, out of contention. Morningstar-mike going for the overtake on Machapo soon. He's going to have to do it because that will keep him within 19 points of Pointy. So he's going to have to look to gain as much ground as possible. We've got a battle heading up for P2 here. Black Wildcats closely following Nath. Alright. It looks like they're recording similar lap times here. Pointy with a 1:04.7 last lap, so that has beat his fastest quali lap so far. I did say we'll see a 4 in this round, and we've seen it in the race. So he set a new benchmark for a good qualifying time, so he's going to look to get a 1:04 in quali 3. And Black Wildcats, I don't know how he held on there, but he's lost a lot of time to Nath. Josh further back, probably not going to be able to make much of that opportunity. Morningstar-mike into P5, so he's got the move done on Machapo. Keeps his championship hopes alive. Birch in P7, Angry in P8, Scraffy in P9. Something's happened to Exo here, but he sees himself in P10. So Scraffy's exceeded track limits. A lot of the drivers have exceeded track limits, and Exo and Angry going off in sequence. So not looking good for these two. They were in championship contention, and it looks like that ends there. So, and they've got quite hefty penalties as well, with a 2 second for Exo and 1 second for Angry. So looking a lot worse for them. Now Mike looking to gain some ground on Josh. Went a bit wide there. I would expect a slowdown. Josh with a very good debut performance in this round. Hasn't had much practice, I would assume, and he's actually bringing it to these guys. So Good effort from him. Nath trying to gain some ground on Pointy, but Pointy is in a league of his own. The last 3 laps, averaging a 5 flat, so gonna have to get better pace to catch him up. Black Wildcats in 3rd. As it stands, Josh in 4th. morningstar-mike in 5th. Chapo in 6th. Looks like he's gaining ground on Mike. Birch in 7th. Scraffy in 8th. XL in 9th. And Angry in 10th. So we're in lap 8 of... Wait, we're in lap 9, sorry, of the 9-lap race. So this is the last lap for Pointy. He's got 17 seconds on the field. And he will get his 5th win in a row. Unless something drastically happens on the last corner, which isn't known. So we'll see him win this race. We'll see Nath in P2. Black Wildcats in P3. Josh in P4. morningstar-mike in P5, who keeps his championship hopes alive. So it is officially a 2-horse race heading into the last race. But can Chapo get a run on here? This will all but seal the deal for Pointy. Not a good exit from a Chapo. Looks like it's still alive for morningstar-mike here. Birch in P7. Scraffy in P8. XL in P9. And Angry in P10. No one got lapped this time around. Actually, yeah, Angry did, but he hasn't had good form this round, so he's going to look to improve in the last race of the season. So I'll expect him to put it all on the line in the last race. So as it stands, we've got Pointy in P1, Nathan P2, Black Wildcats P3, Josh P4, another P4 placing for him. Good run of races here for Josh. morningstar-mike P5, Chapo P6, Birch in P7, Scrappy P8, XL in P9, and Angry in P10. So we'll get through the grid here. I'll set you over to the other screen while I have a little break and obviously get the leaderboards up on screen for you guys. So we'll go onto this tab here. So another good performance for Pointy. So we'll return the lobby, and I think I got the screenshot. If not, I think I memorized it. I'll be right back. Everything back on screen. Just messing around with a bit of the stuff here. That shouldn't be right. So we have officially got a 2-horse race for the championship here in Pointy and morningstar-mike. But it only remains mathematical for Mike, so he's relying on Pointy to get a DNF in this race. So highly unlikely for a driver of Pointy's caliber, but as it stands, Mike's still in with a chance. So, you know, anything is possible. Just about to save the next one. Now it should go onto the screen. So there we go. 2-horse race with Pointy and Morningstar Mike. So Pointy on 192 points. Morningstar Mike on 174. We go further down with the non-contenders. Angry on 152. Exodus on 151. So 1 point separates those two guys. Machapo further 10 points down from Angry, so he could see himself up in the P3 in the championship if he has a good run. Birch in P6 with 135. Black Wildcats with 120. Scraffy with 110 and Nave with 109. So we'll go into the next race, and we're -1 driver this time around, or -2. So we'll start this race. Nave also out, so we got an 8 driver race here.
Ran Pointy at the first corner. All the place backs on.
Now, Pointy probably knows the...
first corner.
Oh, here we go.
we got the banter. They're all going for Pointy here.
On the accelerator at the first.
Oh, that's the sound of chronic masturbation, if ever there was.
So Morningstar Mike probably trying to get as many as the grid on his side as possible, because
Hey boy,
Hey.
what was that comment we heard? Pointy's end. On his first corner, I'll be gone anyway. It was.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's
Two races, and it's been happening.
You know we can sort that out.
yeah.
so we hear it there.
Yeah, there's no keeping up with him today.
Right, so I'm going to switch my HDMI over so I can get better quality. So we're going out into qualifying 3, the last qualifying session of this championship. So first out is Scraffy. So we'll go on board with Scraffy. Looks like he's been using the pit
One more, boys.
strategy for qualifying.
Cross with that.
So
Did you put limit on that, Jane?
Fuck, I didn't. Oh well.
go on board with Pointy. We know he's got extraordinary pace, so we'll go on chase view. We'll see how he warms up his tyres.
Fuck.
Oh, we've got a 1 place grid penalty. Make that 2 for Exodus, so not looking good for him. He's 1 point behind AngryOldFella, and he's already started off on a pretty low starting, so he's going to have to record a good lap time to keep that 3rd position in sight in the championship. So we'll see how it unfolds for him. I'm sure he'll make up that ground at some point. But as for Pointy and Morningstar Mike, completely different situation here. These guys are fighting for a championship. So we'll go on board with what we currently think will be champion in Pointy. Going for his first lap. Really sliding it into turn 1. Letting the rear sort of get away from him there. So we see a lot of different driving styles, and Pointy's loose driving style seems to give him very good lap times. You know, in qualifying, if you want to record fast laps, you got to put everything on the line. You got to take risk at every corner, and currently this is what Pointy's doing. So looking to be a good lap so far. Will this be in the 104s? Hasn't been done in qualifying, but has been done in the race. So bit of a rear slide there. May have lost a bit of time. Not too much, but should still be a good time. Oh, I think I've got the... Sorry about that. I think I've got the stream on the leaderboards. So, live scenes now. And Pointy with a 104.8, so he may as well park that car now,
Yeah,
because
you know, last race of the season.
that is a very good lap time.
Just Fanging out the old fucking pit.
So we got a
Too
bit of
busy
a...
concentrating on where this was and where that was, and
Yeah, I do that.
Which handle got hooked up under the accelerator, didn't it?
So P2
That's right,
is
mate.
currently Exodus, which that will put him up back in the P4 with a 2-place grid penalty.
Wee.
So currently we've only had 3 recorded laps, 1 realistic fast lap from Pointy. Looking to go another time around. Looks like he will improve. So we'll see if he can get a mid-4. What does this produce?
What's everyone gone?
So 1047. So he improved by 1/10,
Oh, we're losing
and it
people.
looks like he is parking it. So apparently we've had someone leave. Should be fine. So we still have 8, as we had earlier. So currently we're on board with Machapo, fighting for P3 in the championship here. In the meantime, morningstar-mike goes in the P2 with a 1065. So he's trying everything he can to bring it the Pointy this race. But as I said,
Is everyone been running
quite a hefty lead in favour of Pointy.
Stable,
So
this one?
Yeah, stable.
Machapo did improve last time around, but no grid improvement. So we're going on board with Scruffy, who's following Machapo closely. Might be able to get in the slipstream later on.
I'm going to try loose for the last one.
Oh, Scruffy, bit wide there. Definitely a massive mistake there. So we're on board with XO. 2-place grid penalty, got to keep in mind. He improves, but no grid improvement. So we'll go on board with Angry because the back 2 are battling for P3. Oh, seems to be struggle city there for Angry in the first sector. But it's caught out a lot of drivers tonight. Even Pointy, a championship leader, it's caught out Pointy. You know, if that sector's catching out Pointy, then it's obviously a very hard track. So no exclusion here. So we'll go on board with morningstar-mike, who's been pipped to P2. Black Wildcat's currently P2, 1057. No improvement there for Mike, so he's going to have to do what he can to win this race. As long as it stays within the rules. I don't want people doing a cool fard and holding up the field for him. So Black Wildcats, no improvement that time around. We're on board with Machapo here. We've got 3 minutes left in the session. So it seems as though this is a very short round, so we'll see what happens.
No worries, mate.
You see me looming pretty quick, couldn't you?
Yeah, and I was on a slow down. So,
So what does this do for Machapo?
No worries.
No improvement. So we'll go on board with Birch. Looking to get redemption here. Everyone's got a lot to play for in this last race. Not just for the championship, but for their final finishing positions on the standings. We know XO, Angry, and Machapo. And I think Birch is also on the mix for a P3 finish. And he's been pipped by Angry in the meantime. So Angry with a 1072 puts himself up in the P5. Scrappy with a disastrous last round. Also getting investigated for race 1. So currently Scrappy might lose out here as well. So we'll see what happens. But at the end of this round, there'll be unofficial results. And the official results will be up by
That's a tricky little corner.
Tuesday night.
Ricky.
Yeah, don't like it much.
I've got my PS4 controller disconnected, so hopefully it
Trying to
connects.
leave it in
Oh,
fifth, but
meantime,
it's
Scraffy in
quite
the
well.
P4 with a 106.8. So we're talking about his bad fortunes,
That corner back
you know, a
there,
few
the only
seconds
break
ago,
really good thing to
and
go for
out of the
that.
blue, he's starting on the second row. Good effort. We'll see if he can get further improvement. So we haven't seen Pointy react to anything yet, so he definitely thinks his pole position is secured. Good start for our championship leader heading into the last race. Looking to cement his spot after the first corner. So Scraffy had to let off the power a little bit in the last corner there. I don't know why. Maybe a bit of understeer. Might be just synopsis. So he didn't improve. And we see Angry go up in the P3. So at the moment, the battle for P3 is in Angry's favour. So EXO starting all the way back in P8.
Who's
And
going to win this one?
whoa!
Gee.
No way.
Shall we put it to a vote?
I'll tell you what though, third through to about sixth was
yeah.
pretty tight.
Yeah.
So Black Wildcats is going to get another run at it. Mike, he's done and dusted for quality. Angry's going to get another run. This will be Scraffy's last run. And Chapo's done. Birch will have another run. And EXO is done as well. So
I find
Yeah.
if you don't get that first sector right, it's
we'll go on board with Angry.
The first corner's
Or
massive.
Scraffy. See if he improves. Improvement, but not in grid position. So Scraffy looks like to be starting P5. We're on board with Angry now.
So we've lost 2 players.
Next driver in line to cross the control line.
Hang on.
We'll be looking to get a P2 start here. Needs to find 4 attempts.
yeah, and Josh pulled out or something.
Yeah, as I told Josh said he had to go, and Meadow pops up because he's doing the broadcast.
Ah, fuck yeah.
Angry got invalidated there. So Black Wildcats in the wall, and that is our session over.
Yeah,
This won't take long, mate.
Nah.
So we got Pointy in P1, Black Wildcats in P2, morningstar-mike P3, Angry in P4, Scraffy P5, Machapo P6, Birch in P7, and EXO in P8. So we'll get to the grid for the final race of the Clio Cup Sunday Series. Your championship leader, starting first, his closest rival in morningstar-mike, the only other driver in contention, starts right behind him. If I was Mike, I'll be flashing my lights at the start of this race just to intimidate him. Make him make mistakes. It's what he's got to do. As long as he doesn't, punt him off the track and whatnot, it's all in the books to be done. So here we go. And we're underway now, and Pointy with another blistering start. The rest of the field getting bogged down, with the exception of Birch, who's trying to make a move down the inside of Scraffy. Not up further enough, but very good start from him. We'll go on board with EXO. See the rest of the field. Pointy, as he said, already got a very solid lead. Scraffy going out wide. He holds on to it. And the Chapo. Oh! Bit of an unsafe entry there. But all remains to be intact for EXO. Now Birch is right behind Scraffy now. Pointy already having a lead extended out to 2 seconds. morningstar-mike with a slowdown, I think. Will Scraffy make a move on Angry down the inside? We know Angry's fighting for P2, P3. Angry. Oh, nah. Not enough racing room there. Got to be careful. And that's going to be another investigation for Scraffy. So, looks like Scraffy's going to lose out big time with post-race penalties. That was not on there. So that's definitely going to play a role in Angry's aspirations for third. But at this stage, I would have to call it that Scraffy will be relegated behind Angry for that. So we're on board with Scraffy, who's under a lot of controversy in this last round. No doubt he's going to get a penalty for that one. We're going to have to look at the race 1 incident as well. I didn't have onboard footage, but we'll retrieve some. So after lap 1, we got Pointy in first. Well, we're on lap 3 now. Black Wildcat second, morningstar-mike third, Birch in 4th, Scraffy in 5th, Chapo in 6th, Angry in 7th, XO in 8th. So XO not looking good after that podium finish in the first race. This all went downhill for him. So we'll go on board with our second championship contender, looking to be out of contention as it stands, morningstar-mike. So trying to cement his P2 position. So Birch is trying to get another podium finish to his name. He's going to make the most of that lockup made by morningstar-mike ahead. Black Wildcats continues his late good run of races. Scraffy closely behind this battle here too, so I don't know if it's going to make a difference whether he overtakes any of these cars, but he'll have to overtake as many as possible. So Angry still in the box seat for P3. XO in P8, and currently he will be sitting 4th. Chapo currently sitting 5th in the standings. Birch currently sitting 6th. So the 6 contenders we had to start this round, they seem to be pretty spread out. So we're on board with morningstar-mike here, and we've had a disconnect from Angry, so don't know what happened there. It's unfortunate for him, but we'll have to give him points for this race. He did contend. So we're on board with Mike, closely following the tail of Black Wildcats. Seem to be getting a bit of lag on the stream side of things, so hopefully it stays up. So Birch is moved further back now. Scraffy right on Birch's tail. Chapo keeping it clean in 6th position, and XO back all the way back in P7. So he has to gain a position at this stage to beat Angry in the championship, so he's got to gain some ground on the Chapo. Now we're on board with Scraffy once again, the man that's going to be talked about post-race a lot. Right, so we're on board with Birch, and Scraffy making a bit of a mistake, so a bit of breathing space for Birch. Scraffy going to make the most of that opportunity, but sort of making a little mistake as well. morningstar-mike in P3, Black Wildcat in P2, 10 seconds behind Pointy, who's blazing at the front of the field as usual. And I think he's recorded the fastest lap of the round of a 1:04.5. So continues to deliver good pace, Pointy. And as not a strong statement, this one, but Pointy will be your champion. So we'll have a look here. So we're on ball morningstar-mike again. We've got 3 laps remaining. Can morningstar-mike end his season on a high? So he'll be looking to get P2 and steal it away from Black Wildcats here. Very close behind his tail now. Now, these two have produced some quite extraordinary racing throughout this series. Remember, Black Wildcats' first win, it was a battle against morningstar-mike. So these two seem to find each other quite a lot. So, oh, Black Wildcats! Oh, he's gone wide. And he's off. Scraffy up in the P3. Birch up in the P4. And it looks like Scraffy had a slowdown there. So it gives Birch the opportunity to see himself on the last step of the podium. Machapo still in the last sector here. Exus closely following him behind. 16 seconds adrift from Machapo. So Pointy's almost lapping Exo here. Keep in mind, the next lap will be the last lap for Pointy. So if he's to lap Exo, it must be done the next lap. So congratulations to Pointy on the championship win. Birch looking quite healthy for another podium finish. Scraffy, a lot of mistakes tonight. He's definitely going to see his hopes of going up the ladder sort of go downhill. So two back guys are just trying to circulate enough laps to keep their positions in hand, and Black Wildcats with disastrous off once again. 2 laps in a row, not looking good for him. But we are on the last lap of the Clio Cup Sunday Series. And it looks like Pointy's dropping it off a bit here. His last lap was a 1:06 flat. Looks like he knows. He knows all he has to do is circulate this lap. And it's done. Done and dusted. So we'll see if there's anything unfolding at the back here. Doesn't look to be. But there's going to be a bit of an investigation with Scraffy. morningstar-mike going wide. But Pointy is your Clio Cup champion. And he's trying to do a burnout. I'd suggest put it in reverse and do it that way. And that's what he's doing. He is your champion. Beat Mike by 20 points, I think it was. 19 or 20, one of the two. But at the moment, those are your unofficial results. Now, what's going on here? We've got quite a big deal going on, but... So, Black Wildcats ends up finishing... Oh! Machapo pips him a P5! Right at the death for Machapo, and Machapo gets relegated back. I wonder why that is. He has a 2-second penalty, that will be why. So he tried his absolute hardest to get that P5. And that is your race done. No one was lapped this race. It was a very good pace from the guys. So your champion, Pointy, 6 race wins in a row. Brings his tally up to 9. So, good stuff from him. So, we've got morningstar-mike in P2. Birch in P3, Scruffy in P4, Black Wildcats in P5, Machapo in P6, Exo in P7, and I think Angry in P8. But those are all your unofficial results. So I want to get the unofficial leaderboards up for you guys. We'll see how it looks, and we'll get the final results back to you by Tuesday. So congratulations to Pointy though. I think he's definitely going to be the champion. So I'll get this all done.
Or I can just race on controller instead. Yeah, the previous round before this one, I changed my settings before all those races. Because I used to have my sensitivity all the way up high, so one time which would send my car flying. Now I've got it really like a what? Oh, I'm using controller.
Right, so I'm about to get the stuff on screen.
Yeah, X is my gear up, and Square is my gear down. Yeah, I've copied it from the Formula 1 game.
Alright, so we're going to the unofficial leaderboards, but as for Pointy, it looks official for him. He is the Clio Cup champion. 19 points behind morningstar-mike was. He sees himself in P2. AngryOldFella and Essus both on equal points on 165. But on countback, AngryOldFella will be P3. Machapo on P5. We ended up getting 8 points behind those guys, so very good effort from him. Birch seemed to make a bit of ground up with 153 points. We got Black Wildcats on 136, Scruffy on 132, Nathan on 109, Lee and Brad on 37, and Josh on 34, who had a very good debut. Fortunately, he couldn't join us for the last race because he has some pretty good pace. So that has been the Clio Cup Sunday series, and if you joined me earlier on in the stream, the next series will be GTE, and there is your calendar. I'll be Metamon, and I'll see you in the next series of the GTE series, which is to be hosted on the 24th of November. Bye guys.